Shapar, which means horn. Yayan, which means one. Sha'ala, which means to Israel. Huh? Shapar, which means horn. I imagine, which means to stand. Sawa Panya Hakodam, which means turn and face the east. Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. Abanawa, Shabbat Shemayim, Kudah, I.S.U.P.K, YAHANNA, Taba'ah, Ratazaka, I.S.U.P.K, Barataza, Kuwa, Bashemayim, Natalanau, Akab, Ka, Uwam, Wasalak now, Kawat now, Kasalak now, Kawat you now, Wala'a, Nabiaya now, Manasaya 1, Abal, Abashai now, Mayan, Brad, Kaya, Laka, Hamalakwa, Kaala, Utapara, Abalamium, Aman. In English, our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Yahweh, thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. Forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. So be it. Hakak, the power in the Hebrew. Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, Babukusha, Natalanau, Hakak, Raba'ah, Kamakala, Kamarawa, Hakak, Lataha, Hamatazariah, Hakak, Lahakia, Hamathia, Hakak, Arakawa, Tamala, Larishan, Ba'ashem Yahushua, Kabarama. Yahweh in the English, Yahweh. In the name of Yahushua. Please give us the power. Power to heal all manner of sickness and all manner of disease. Power to cleanse the lepers. Power to raise the dead. Power against unclean spirits. To cast them out. In the name of Yahushua. Thank you. So be it. That's Israel in the Hebrew. Yahweh. Ba'ashem Yahushua. Barak Lanawa. YAHANNA. Wabaya Sapaya. Barak. Rapa'ah. Magan. Ba'ashem Yahushua. Wadama. Bless Israel in the English, Yahweh, in the name of Yahushua. Bless us and Israel and the school. Bless, heal, shield, protect, in the name of Yahushua. Thank you. So be it. Blessings in the Hebrew. Barakatah Yahweh. Wa Yahushua. Wa Mayaka'ala. Wa Alaya. Tazab Ya'ah. Slahi, Alawap YAHANNA. Halawapya. Asaranya. Akotazayanya. Hakayayo. Wahakwafya. Yahweh. Ba'ashem Yahushua. Tuwarama. In the English, bless you, Yahweh, and Yahushua, and Michael, and the angels, commanding General YAHANNA, the generals, the captains, the officers, the troopers, and the sisters. Yahweh, in the name of Yahushua, thank you. So be it. Psalms 121. Asherah, Ayanya, Ahahaya, Mayan, Yaba'ah, Isaiah mine, Yahweh, I.S.U.P.K, Shemayim, Warataza, Al-Yatan, Lamawat, Regalka, Alianawam, Shamaka, Kanalaha, Yanawam, Walaha, Yayashan, Shawamar, Yasharala, Yahawah, Shamarka, Yahawah, Tazalka, Aliyad, Yamyanka, Yawamam, Hashemah, La'ah, Yakaka, Mayarah, Malayala, Yahawah, Yashamarka, Nakalrad, Yashamar, Athnapashka, Yahawah, Yashamar, Tazahaka, Wamwahaka, Ma'aika, Wa'ai Ireland. In the English, I will lift up mine eyes into the hills. From whence cometh my help? My help cometh from Yahawah, which made heaven and earth. He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee will not slumber. Behold, he that keepeth Israel shall neither slumber nor sleep. Yahweh is thy keeper. Yahweh is thy shade upon thy right hand. The sun shall not smite thee by day, nor the moon by night. Yahweh shall preserve thee from all evil. He shall preserve thy soul. The Yahweh shall preserve thy going out and thy coming in from this time forth and even forevermore. Psalms 83 in the Hebrew, Al-Ahayim, Al-Dami Yalakah, Al-Takarash, Al-Tashakwat, Al-Yahanna, Al-YAHANNA, YAHANNA Wamashanayaka, Nasha'awa, Ra'ash, Al-Amaka, Ya'ariyawa, Sawad, Wayataya Aitazawa, Altazabawanyaka, Amara, Rakawa, Wanakakida, Magoya, Wala'a, Yazaka, Shamyasharawa, Iwad, Kaya, Nawa Aitazawa, La, Yakadwa, Aliyaka, Baya, Yakarathwa, Ahalia, Adawam, Mayashima Aliyah, Mawa'aba, Wahagaria, Gabar, Wa'anawan, Wa'analak, Halashah, Anyashabi, Tazawar, Gam Ashawar, Nalawa, Imam, Hayawa, Sarawai, Banyalawat, Salah, I.S.U.P.K, Hamadian, Kasaya Sarah, Kayabian, Banakar, Bayashwa, Ashamadwa, Bayandara, Hayawa, Daman, La Adama, Shayatamwa, Nadayabwa, Kaira, Kazaaba, Kazabak, Kazamana, Hanasayakamba, Ashar, Irika, Wabasawapaska, Tabalam, Malaa, Anyam, Walawan, Wayabakwashwa, Shumka, Yahawah, Yabashwa, Wayabahalwa, Adiai, Wayakapawa, Wayabagwa, Wayadaiwa, Kaya, Ata, Shamka, Yahawah, Abarka, Aliyawan, Al-Khal Ha'arakaza. In the English, keep not thy silence, O power. Hold not thy peace, and be not still. O power. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult. And they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden one. For they have said, Come, and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more remembered. For they have consulted together with one consent. They have conferred against thee. the tabernacles of Edom, and the Israelites, of Moab, and Agri, Gabal, and Ammon, and Amalek, the Philistines, with the inhabitants of Tyre. The sword also is drawn with us. They have hope in the children of Lot. Salah. Do unto them as unto the Midianites. As to Sarah, as to Jabin, at the brook of Kison, which perished out of doors. They became as dung for the earth. Make their nobles like Orel, and like Zahab. Yea, or their princes as Sabbath, and as Zalmunna, who said, let us take to ourselves the house of the power and possession. Oh, my power, make them like a wheel, as the stubble before the wind, as the fire burneth the wood. Because the flame setteth the mountains on fire. So persecute them with thy tempest. And make them afraid with thy storm. Fill their face with shame. That they may seek thy name. O Yahweh. Let them be confounded. And trouble forever. Yea. Let them be put to shame. And perish. That men may know that thou, whose name alone is Yahweh, at the Most High, over all the earth. Curses in the Hebrew. Blessed are you, Yahweh. King of heaven. Salah, curses in the English. King of heaven and earth. And all things living. Yahweh. The name Yahushua. Listen to us now. Right now. Evils and curses. Punishment and destruction. The heathen. That speak against us. Thy prophets. The teachers. The princes. The priests. The Israelite brothers. And the school. Send evils and curses. And punishment and destruction. To the heathen, and shake loose the treasure of the rich of Israel. I refuse to give to the school. Force their riches to enter into thy sanctuary. Send evils and curses. And punishment and destruction. To the Edomite. And the nations. And their drug dealers, court system, Planned Parenthood, prison system, Planned Parenthood, all the governments of our enemies, Amalek synagogues and armies, Roman Catholic Church, the Pope, Islam, Christianity, Egyptology, militia, Ku Klux Klan, Aryan Nation, Skinhead, Posse Kamikaze, Gay Movement, lesbian movement, spies, workers of witchcraft, NASA space program, Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, Wall Street, open up the internet, and the airwaves, cable access channel, and the radio channel, convict the spirit, any of our people, that seek to stop us, and bring swift destruction to all the heathen that stand in the way, they try to stop us, from broadcasting your words throughout the planet Earth. Let loose all the planes, cause them to go to and fro, through the earth, and consume them. Let the plague shake, the house of the thief, and the murderer. Let Yahushua, Michael and Gabriel, come down with the flying sauce, and punish all the heathen that come up against us, as we speak thy word, cause we know by all, that is the angels that have done it. Cause it spread to the media. Throughout the whole world. Cause it to shake at thy coming. In the name of Yahushua. Thank you always. So be it. Silence means to turn. You shall be, which means to be seated. Salaki, bear with me 2 seconds. Yeah, definitely think so. Salaki, so you have a lot in the what's it called too, and we trying to put those in storage, I believe.
What?
The actual paper, the sheets itself.
Yeah. I got a lot of okay. Yeah, how much close. 40. Okay, that's fine. All right.
We're in 2 Kings 4 and 44, last verse of chapter 4. Slovakia. Bear with me 2 seconds. Right. 2 Kings. This first. Okay, so we're in 2 Kings 4 and 44. All right. Wayatan Lapan Yaham, Waya Kalwa, Waya Watarwa, Kadabar, Yahweh. 5 and 1. Wanaim, Iman, Shar, Tazabaa, Malak, Aram, Haya, Ayash, Gadawal, La Panya, Adan Yoa, Nasha, Panyam, Kaya, Bawa, Nathan, Yahweh, Tashawai, La Aram, Waha Ayash, Haya, Nabawar. Wait. Salakia, that's Gabawar, right?
Verse 2?
Yeah, Khan, the third letter. The what's called looks a little what's called.
That's
Gabawar, right? Khan, Gabawar is usually mighty man. Kayol, Matazarai, Wa Aram, Yatazaawa, Gadawadium, Wayashabwa, Ma'arataza, Yasharala, Na'ira. Arataza Yasharala is land of Israel. Na'ira, Quatana, Wataya, Lapanya, Ashaf, Na'aiman. 3. Wata Amar al Gabarafta, Akalia, Adanya, Lapanya, Ha Nabaya, Ashar, Ba Shamar 1, Azza, Ya'asap, Athwa, Matazar Raithwa. 4. Wayagad, La Adanyua, La Amar, Kazath, Wa Kazath, Dabara, Ha Na'ira, Ashar, Ma'arataza, Yasharala. 5. Wayamar, Malak Aram, Laka, Ba'a, Wa Ashalaka, Sapar al Malak, Yasharala, Wayalak, Wayakwak, Bayadwa, Aishar, Kakarya, Kasap, Wa Shashaf, Alapyam, Zahab, Wa Aishara, Kala Yapawaf, Bagadyam. 6. Wayaba, Khan, Hasapar, Al Malak, Yasharala, La'mar wa Aita, Kabawa, Hasapar, Haza, Alayaka, Hana, Shalakafya, Alayaka, Az Naiman, Ibadia, Wa Asa Pathwa, Matazar Raithwa, at Khan. Alright, well, that's we started 4 and 44. Okay, so last time they put something inside of a stew. I gotta get better confirmation, but basically They made the stew poisonous by accidentally using the wrong ingredients, and they couldn't eat it. And the man of the Lord was able to take meal. I'm not sure, that could be like basically cornmeal or something to that effect. He put it inside of the stew, and I guess it got rid of the
Neutralize the poison.
Yeah, yeah, basically. Anyone who's familiar with like pH levels and all that will know that certain things like that can be neutralizing agents to certain what's it called the water for that. 44. This is 4 and 44. So he set it before them, and they did eat and left thereof according to the word of the Most High. 5 and 1. Now Naaman, captain of the host of the king of Syria, was a great man with his master and honorable, because by him the Most High had given deliverance unto Syria. He was also a mighty man in valor, but he was a leper. Right? True. And the Syrians had gone out by companies and brought away captive out of the land of Israel a little maid, and she waited on Naaman's wife. 3, and she said unto her mistress, would God my Lord were with the prophet that is in Samaria, for he would recover him of his leprosy. 4, and one went in and told his Lord, saying, thus and thus said the maid that is of the land of Israel. Right? Keep going, verse 5. And the king of Syria said, go, and I will send a letter unto the king of Israel. And he departed, and took with him 10 talents of silver, and 6,000 pieces of gold, and 10 changes of ravens. 6, and he brought the letter to the king of Israel, saying, now, when this letter is come unto thee, behold, I have therewith sent Naaman my servant to thee, that thou mayest recover him of his leprosy. So meaning, what's it called? There's the Syrian captain who's leprous. Everybody familiar with leprosy or not too much? Kind of everybody's familiar. Basically, your body parts fall off, long story short. It's not that cut and dry, but basically, that's how bad it can get. Like, I don't know if y'all ever watch a Family Guy that made a joke about, like, oh, I feel like I'm a leper, and he asked to sit there, and the guy literally took off his arm and said, no, someone's sitting here already. Like, the leprosy can really be bad. Fingers will fall off, bodies, and he's asking, like, saying, yeah, kind of.
So this process is not talking about the changing of the skin color?
No, that happens. And what's happening is, long story short,
As it progresses.
Yeah, as it progresses, your skin will start to deteriorate and lose color. But to a point, it will deteriorate so much, I can go like this and your arm fall on your finger fall off. So yeah, that's how bad leprosy can really be. It's like being made of glass, almost to speak.
So that's being done with in this case here.
Right, this brother has leprosy. It doesn't say what stage of leprosy he's in, but yeah, that's how bad leprosy can be. 4, and one went in and told his Lord, saying, thus and thus said the maid that is up. Oh, Salah.
You just read 6.
Yeah, I just read 6, right? All right, no sweat. I'm doing this quick. So that's 6, so 7 to 13. YAHANNA Bakwara Malak Yasharala Ath Hasapar Wayakwarai Bagad Yoa Waya Amar Ha Allahayam Anya Laham Mayath Walaha Kayawaf Kaya Za Shalak Alia La Asap Ayash Matazarai Kaya Aka Dail Na Wara Kaya Matana Hawa Laya Wayahaya Kashamar Ala Yashai Ayash Ha Alahayam Kaya Kwarai Malak Yashrala Av Bagad Yua Waya Shalak Al Ha Malak La Amar Lama Kwarai Bagad Yaka, Yabal, Na'a, Alia, Yadai, Kaya, Yash, Nabaya, Bayasharala. Khan is not Khan. Wayaba, Naiman, Basawaswa, Wabarakabwa, Wayaimad, Patak, Habayaf, La ala Yashai. Allah Yashai is a Elisha. 10. Waya Shalak, Allah Yawa, Allah Yashai, Malaka, La'amar, Ha Lawak, Wa Rakatazah, Shabai, Paimyam, Ba Yaradan, Wa Yashab, Ba Sharak, Laka, Wa Tahar. 11. Wa Yakwatazab, Naiman, Wa Yalak, Wa Yamarhana, Amarathya, Alia, Yatazawa, Wa Aimad, Wa Quara, Basham, Yahweh, Alahayo, Wahanayat, Yadawa, Al, Ha Makwawam, Wa Asap, Ha Matazarai, 12, Hala, Tawab, Abana, Waparapar, Naharawaf, Damashak, Makal, Mayamya, Yashrala, Hala, Arakataza, Baham, Watarathya, Wayapan, Wayalak, Bakama, 13. Wayagashwa, I Bad Yua, Waya Dabarwa, Al Yua, Waya Amarwa, Abu Abaya, Dabar, Gadawal, Ha Nabaya, Dabar, Alayaka, Halawa, Ta'aisha, Wa'ak, Kaya, Ashar, Amar, Alyaka, Rakataza, Watahar. Yaka. 7. And it came to pass when the king of Israel had read the letter that he rent his clothes and said, Am I the power to kill and to make alive that this man doeth send unto me to recover a man of his leprosy? Wherefore consider, I pray you, and see how he seeketh a quarrel against me. Like, this cat just did it. Like, who does he think, like, I can just, like, heal somebody of leprosy? Like, he's doing this to start a quarrel. Meaning, like, he got the letter. Like, imagine, like, really imagine, like, you're a king and a cat send you a letter. Like, yeah, my man got leprosy. I heard y'all got cats that got the cure for that, so cure my man's. No, feel well if you don't cure his man's. This man's going to try to fight you. Like, yo, he's just looking for it. So he's thinking in his head, this cat is looking for an excuse. Like, okay. God. 8. And it was so when Elisha, the man of God, had heard that the king of Israel had rent his clothes, that he sent to the king, saying, Wherefore hast thou rent thy clothes? And, like, I just want to bring this out. Like it's not uncommon. Like, our culture and our heritage and things that happen inside of our history are not uncommon. The gladiators are direct results of cats talking about, yo, we have ancestors named Solomon and David who fought bears and lions. Word, I would love to see that. Put them in a cage with one. That's why. Heathens heard about Samson and said, I want to see y'all fight some lions. And then when we killed the lion, I put 10 of them in there, put one sword, last man standing. That's how you get gladiators. Right? Stories like this are often circulated, especially about our people. So, yeah, the Israelites always got, every decade or so, got some new cat that's healing people. And Elisha was so famous. He's alive now, but Elisha, after death, his bones were healing people. God, we'll probably read that in the next few chapters. But yeah, so now Elisha's like, now mind you, you got heathens going around telling stories about how we heal people. But the king of the nation can't even say, wait, we could call Elisha and see if Elisha can do anything. This guy want to rip clothes and cry. So Elisha's like, yo, let me go to this guy. Like, what you got a problem for? Come.
If I may, even today, modern history, you see how our oppressors and the heathens, they don't look at us as human. It's like we're some supernatural being. A 14-year-old,
right?
He's a giant,
right?
He still treat us like we have no feelings and we just superheroes and supernatural,
right?
On the carnal side,
right? And if I may, something just because I thought about it, be very careful, like for everybody online, especially my Hispanic brothers, like be very careful with all that stuff going on with Cuba. Because that main thing, the reason it came to mind is because when they first went in there and saw Cuba, was the first thing they found. Y'all found a cure for lung cancer, and that was the problem in Cuba. They're interestingly enough, the home of the cure for lung cancer is now the home for skyrocket high, medical costs. And that's why they're all rioting. Right? The U.S. is going to go in there and talk smooth words and going to get them out of goddamn cures. Okay? Because that's what our oppressor does. That's what they use us. Right? We're going to get back in this for time's sake. Wherefore hast thou rent thy clothes? Let him come now to me, and he shall know that there is a prophet in Israel. 9. So Naaman came with his horses and with his chariot and stood at the door of the house of Elisha. 10. And Elisha sent a messenger unto him, saying, Go and wash in Jordan 7 times, and thy flesh shall come again to thee, and thou shalt be clean. Right? 11. But Naaman was wroth and went away and said, Behold, I thought he will surely come out to me and stand and call on the name of the Most High his power and strike his hand over the place and recover the leper. 12. Are not Abana and Pharpar, rivers of Damascus, better than all the waters of Israel? May I not wash in them and be clean? So he turned and went away in a rage. 13. And his servants came near and spake unto him and said, My father, if the prophet had bid thee to do some great thing, wouldst thou not have done it? How much rather then, when he saith to thee, Wash and be clean? Now, they didn't really say this because they're his servants and they have to speak a certain way. But let me explain that whole situation. No sweat. You want to be healed? Go wash in the river up the block. No sweat. Wait. You're not going to he expected Elisha to be a Christian pastor. What do I mean by that? You're not going to come out, call on the name of the Most High, strike me on the place. Okay. Meaning what? I rebuke you in the name of Jesus, right? And the pastor got his hand on your head. Come out of him, demon. Come out of him, leprosy. Come out of him, blindness, right? And you're going to sit there for 10 seconds and act like you're being transformed or healed. Nah, my nigga, here's the truth of God. Washing that river, that's it, right? He wanted a song and dance from a Christian church. So, mind you, this cat went, right, with horses and men, right, to a whole ass other country. No car, no train. They walked there. They took horses there. That's like a week or two. They get there. This man gives them simple instructions. Wash your behind 7 times. Man, forget this. I'm going home. Did he really just bring us to a whole ass other country for us to get here, get told some basic information, like to wash your behind, and you're mad it's that simple? My Lord, please think, like, if he said, like, whistle at the moon under the cliffs, You'd be like, okay, but the nigga said Wall Street is 7 times. And you got a problem with that. That's what they're basically saying. Okay. Verse 14 now in the Hebrew. Alright. 14. While you dog, while you ride, while you tabal, by your rod done, by a shabai, pa'ayim, kadabar ayash, ha ala hayam, while you shab, basharwa, kabashar, nair, Kotan, Waya Tahar, Waya Shab, Al, Ayash, Ha Alahayam, Ha Wal, Wakal, Makana, Waya Bal, we're in 15 now. Waya Ahmad, Babhan Yawa, Waya Amar Hana, Naa, Yadai, Kaya, Ayan, Allahayam, Bakal, Ha-Arataza, Kaya, Bayasharala, Wa-Aita, Kwak, Na, Baraka, Ma'ath, Ibadka, 16. Waya Amar, Kaya, Yahweh, Ashar, I-Madafya, Labhanyawa, Akwak, Waya Patazar Bawa La Kwakaf Waya Ma'an 17 Waya Amar Na'aiman Wala'a Yatan Na'a La'ai Barka Masha Tazamad Parad Yum Adama Kaya Alawa Lawa Ya Aisha, Iwad, Ibadka, Ila, Wazabak, La Alahayam, Akayam, Kaya, La Yahweh, La Dabar, Hazar, Ya Salak, Yahweh, La Ibadka, Bawal, Adanya, Bayav, Ramawan, Laha Shatakwa, Shama, Waha Wa'a, Nashai, Ayo, Yadia, Waha Shatakwa Yahya, Bayav, Raman, Baha Shatakwa Yahya, Bayav, Raman, Yasalak, Na, Yahweh, La Ibadka, Badabar, Haza, 19. Wa Ya Amalu Walaka, La Shalom, Wa Yalak, Ma'afwa, Ka Barath, Arataza, 20. Wa Ya Amar Gaikan, Gaya Kazya, Naira, Allah Yashai, Ayash, Aha Alahayim, Hana, Kashak, Adanya, Av, Naaiman, Aramya, Haza, Makwakav, Yakan, Mayadwa, Av, Yakan, Ashar, Baya, Kaya, Yahweh, Kaya, Ratazaf, Akaryoa, Walakwakav, Ma'afwa, Ma'awam,
What's that? Is the third one?
Third.
This is the third? God. Okay, therefore said he did the horses. And he then went he down and dipped himself 7 times in Jordan, according to the saying of the man of the Most High. and his flesh came again unto the flesh of a little child, like unto the flesh of a little child, and he was clean. His flesh was smooth and clean. And he returned to the man of God and all his company, and came and stood before him and said, Behold, now I know that there is no God in all the earth but in Israel. Now therefore I pray thee, take a blessing of thy servant. 16. And he said, As the Most High liveth, before whom I stand, I will receive nothing. And he urged him to take it, but he refused. 17. And the man said, Shall there not then, I pray thee, be given to thy servant 2 mules burden of earth? For thy servant will henceforth offer neither burnt offering nor sacrifice unto other gods, but unto the Most High. 18. In this thing the Most High pardon thy servant, that when my master goeth into the house of Rimmon to worship there, and he leaneth on my hand, I bow myself in the house of Rimmon, When I bow down myself in the house of Rimmon, the Most High pardon thy servant in this thing. 19. And he said unto him, Go in peace. So he departed from him a little way. I'll get confirmation, but the reason he's allowed for that could be because he's a heathen. You heard it, sir, or
Say again.
You want me to read it again, or?
Just break it down.
Basically, he's asking Elisha, like, what's it called? I know there's no God but the Most High, but when my master goes to worship his God in our land, he has me come with him, and obviously as a servant, I have to bow down. Right. But I want to be pardoned by the Most High for doing that.
Okay.
And Elisha's like, go in peace. Like, you're good. That won't be considered against you. That's only because he's a heathen, right?
Yeah, it's go away, yeah.
Yeah, kind of like an Israelite couldn't be like, well, my master's a heathen and he serves Buddha. Yeah, God. Yeah. He's allowing that because he's a heathen, not because what's it called? God, go in peace. So he departed from him a little way. 20. But Gehazi, the servant of Elisha, the man of God, said, Behold, my master hath spread among this Syrian, and not spared this Syrian, and not receiving at his hands that which he brought. But as the Most High liveth, I will run after him and take somewhat of him. So basically, there's Elisha's servant basically saying, "Oh, Elisha didn't take the gift the cat had for him. I'm about to go get that." So let's see what happens. 21. Ten, 15. Come. Wayaragat Gayakazya Akarya Naaman Wayara Naaman Rataza Akarya Wayapal Mayo Ha Marakaba La Kwara Wayamar Ha Shalom 22 Wayamar Shalom Adanya Shalakan Ya La Amar Hana Aita Za Ba Alaya Shania. We got water, Babusha. Naira Yum.
You know what?
Mahat.
Go get some cups over the
Oh, we got cups?
We got a cup.
Goddamn. Mahar, Aparium, Mabanya, Hanabaya Ayum, Tana, Na, Laham, Kakar, Kasak, Washak, Yuk, Kalakwa, Bagad, Yum, 23, Waya Amar, Naaman, Hawa Awal, Kwak, Kakaryum, Waya Parataza, Boa, Waya Tazar, Kakaryum, Kasap, Bashanya, Karatyum, Washafya, Kalak was Bagadium, Wayatan, Al Shanya, Naira Yawa, Wayasha, La Panyawa, Wayaba, Al, I.P.K, Waya Mayadam, Y.A.H.P.K, Babayas, Y.A.S.H.A.L.A.M, Av, Ha Anashyam, Y.A.Lakwa, Y.Hawa Baal, Y.A.Imad Al Adan Yawa, Y.A.Amar Al Yawa, Ala Yashai, Ma Man, I guess, Gakazia, Waya Amar La'a Halak, Ibadka, Ana, Wa'ana, 26, Waya Amar Aliyawa, La'a, Labaya, Halak, Kashar, Hapak, Ayash, Mayo, Marakabas, Lakwaras, Haisa, Hais, Lakwakas, Af, Hakasat, Walakwakas, Bagad Yam, Wazayas Yam, Wakaram Yam, Watazar, Wabakwar, Wa-ibad Yam, Wa-shapakwas, 27.
That's verse.
Khan. Wa-tazarai, Na'iman, Tadabak, Bakaf, Wa-bazarai, Raik, La-iwalam, Wa-yataza, Ma-lapanyawa, Tazarai, Kashalam. Okay, I'll finish this off. God, that's right. Okay, 21. So Gehazi followed after Naaman, and when Naaman saw him running after him, he lighted down from the chariot to meet him and said, "It's all well." 22, and he said, "All is well. My master hath sent me, saying, Behold, even now there be come to me from Mount Ephraim 2 young men of the sons of the prophets. Give them, I pray thee, a talent of silver and 2 changes of garments." Right? Elisha did not say this though. 23. And the man said, "Be content, take 2 talents. And he urged him and bound 2 talents of silver in 2 bags and 2 changes of garments, and laid them upon 2 of his servants, and they bare them before him. And when he came to the tower, he took them from their hand and bestowed them in the house." Okay. And he let the men go, and they departed. 25. But when he went in and stood before his master, and Elisha said unto him, "Whence comest thou, Gehazi? Where you coming from?" And he said, "Thy servant went no whither." So he's lying. He just took this man's money and lied. 26. And he said unto him, "Went not mine heart with thee when the man turned again from his chariot to meet thee? Is it a time to receive money and receive garments and olive yards and vineyards and sheep and oxen and men servants and maid servants?" 27. The leprosy thereof Naaman shall cleave unto thee and unto thy seed forever. And he went out from his presence a leper, as white as snow. Throughout, you can just try to put that. All right. So this is the 4th step. 6. Waya Amarwa ban YAHANNA Ayum al Yashai Hana Na Ha Makwawam Ashar Anakanwa Yashabium Sham Lapanyaka Tazar, Maman, Na Laka, Na, I, Ha Yaradan, Wa Nakwaka, Masham, Ayash, Kwawara, Akaf, Wa Naisha, La Nawa, Sham, Makwawam, La Shabbat, Sham, Wa Ya'amar, Lakawa. 3. Wa Ya'amar, Ha Akkad, Ha Wa'al. Could somebody give me a tissue? Babusha, the water. Akkad, Ha Wa'al, Na, Walak, Af, Ibadyaka, Wa Ya'amar, Anya, Alak, 4. Wa Yalak, Atham, Wa Yaba'af. Well, thank you, daughter. Wa Yaba'awa, Ha Yaradan, Wa Yagazar, Ha Itazayam. 4. Wa Haya, Ha Akkad, Mapayal, Ha Pawara, Wa'af, Ha Abad.
That's verse 5.
This Ayakat. Ha Barzal, Nepal, Al, Ha Mayam, Wa Yatazar Ike, Kwa, Wa Amar, Aka, Aha, Adanya, Wa Hawa, Shawon. 6. Wa Amar Ayash Ha Alhayam, Anna, Nepal, Wa Yara, Ab, Ha Makwawam, Wa Yakwatazab, Aitaza, Wa Shalak, Shema, Wa Yatazab, Habarzal, Wa Amar, Haram, Laka, Wa Shalak, Yadwa, Wa Yakwaka, Wa Malak, Aram, Slakia. Slakia, we come across. That was 7. 7 short, 7. Khan.
5, right?
Huh?
It's 5, right?
This is 5 right here. Yeah, Khan. This is 5 right here, right?
No,
Oh, the old one was 5.
This is the 5th session.
This is the
It's 5th.
Okay, Khan. All right. Khan. 6 and 1. And the sons of the prophets said unto Elisha, Behold now, the place where we dwell with thee is too strait for us. Let us go, we pray thee, unto Jordan, and take thence every man a Bacane, and let make us a place there where we may dwell. And he answered, Go ye. Meaning went too cramped up here. Let me look up the word Bacane. Shucks. Give me 2 seconds.
What were you looking for?
Became.
Verse 8.
2. And one said, Be content, I pray thee, and go with thy servants. And he answered, I will go. 4. So he went with them. And when they came to Jordan, they cut down wood. But as one was felling a beam, beam. Every man a beam. Okay, beam is the word. It's locking. A beam. By basically a roof. So basically a house. Basically they're one of those houses. Or I'll look into it. But as one was felling a beam, the axe had fell into the water. And he cried and said, Alas, master, for it was borrowed. 6. And the man of God said, Where fell it? And he said, and he showed him the place. And he cut down a stick and cast it in thither, and the iron did swim. 7. Therefore he said he, Take it up to thee. And he put out his hand and took it. Okay, meaning, so what happened? Basically, this man went and was cutting down trees, and while he was cutting, I guess he leaned back, and his axe fell into the water. So he tried to lie, like, yo, that was my axe. It fell in the water. Like, I didn't pay for that. That's somebody's property. I gotta pay for that now. And he's like, where'd it fall? It fell in the water. Okay. So Elisha takes a stick, puts the stick in the water, and the iron floats somehow. And now we're on to the next one. Slocky, give me 2 seconds. Goddamn. Try to keep room temperature water in here too. So this is sex. Wa malak aram haya nalakam bayasharala wa aitazam al ibadyo la amar al makwam palan ya alam alamanya taka kanath ya wa yashalak ayash ha alahayam al malak Yasharala, La Amar, Ha Amar, Ma'aibar, Ha Makwawam, Haza, Kaya, Sham, Aram, Na Kathayam, Ten, Wayashalak, Malak, Yasharala al, Ha Makwawam, Ashar, Amar, Lawa, Ayash, Ha alayam, wa ha yara, wa na shamar, sham, la, akath, wa shatyam. 11. Wa yasair, laba, malak, aram, ayu, ha dabar, hazar, wa kwara, al, Ibadyo wa Ya'mar alayhum hala wa tagayadwa laya maya mashalan yatwa al malak yashrala wa Ya'mar akad ma'ibad yawa lawa'a adanya ha malak kaya ala yashai Ha Nabaya Ashar Ba Yasharala Yaga Yag La Malak Yasharala Ha Dabaryam Ashar Tadabar Ba Kadar Ma Shakabak 13 Wa Ya'mar Lakawa Wa Ra'a Ayaka Hawa'a Wa Ashalak Wa akwaka wa yagad lawa lamar hana badatan 14 wa yashalak shamaka sawasayam wa rakab wa kayal kabad wa yabaal la yala Kwapawa, I'll Ha Ira, IR. God. Salakia. Okay, Salakia. 8. Then the king of Syria warred against Israel and took counsel with his servants, saying, in such a place shall be my camp. 9. And the men of the power sent unto the king of Israel, saying, beware that thou passest not such a place, for thither the Syrians are come down. Right? 10. And the king of Israel sent to the place which the man of God told him, and warned him of, and saved himself there, not once nor twice. Therefore the heart of the king of Syria was sore troubled, sore troubles for this thing. And he called his servants and said unto them, will ye not show me which of us is for the king of Israel? And one of his servants said, none, my lord, O king, but Elisha the prophet that is in Israel. Telleth the king of Israel the words that thou speakest in thy bedchamber. So meaning, I'll wait till I finish. 13. And he said, go and spy where he is, that I may send and fetch him. And it was told him, saying, behold, he is in Dathan. Therefore sent he thither horses and chariots and a great host. And they came by night and compassed the city about. So basically, he had a plan. I'm going to meet the king here. And like when he comes out or whatever, to do his little military rounds to check his area or whatever, I'm going to attack him. Elisha lets the king know, yeah, like somebody's planning, the king of Syria is planning to ambush you over here. Don't go that way. So he's able to avoid it twice. So obviously, to any logical person, somebody's snitching. So yes, who's for the king of Israel? Who's helping him? Who's snitching to him and telling him what I'm doing? And then they have to explain, nobody. They have a prophet over there. He can really, like, God can tell him what you say in your bed. What you're saying alone in your bed chambers, God can tell him that. So yeah, that's what's happening. Okay, bring him to me. Find out where he is and bring him to me. This is something we're about to start, right? Okay. All right. So that's 15 to 21. YAHANNA, Ma'asharath, Ayash, Alahayim, Lakwawam, Yataza, YAHANNA, Kayal, Sawabab, Ayar, Wasawas, Rakab, Yamar, Naira, Alayawa, Ahaha, Adanya, Ayaka, Naisha, Wayamar al Tayara, Kaya, Rabayam, Ashar, Atanwa, Ma'ashar, Awatam, 17. Wayatapal, Al Yashai, Wayamar Yahawah, Pakwak na ayan yo ra pakwak Yahweh ayan yo Hanair Yara Wahana Hahar Mala Sawas Yam Rakab Ash Sabayabath ala Yeshai 18. Wayaradwa ala Yawa Wayatapalo ala Yeshai al Yahweh Wayamar Hakat Naab Ab Hagar Hazar Basan Sanawaryam Wayakam Basanawaryam Kadabar ala Yeshai Wayamar Alaham ala Yeshai La'at Zal Hadarak La'am Zal Ha'ayar Lakawa Akarium Wa'awayaka Atakam Al Ha'ayash Ashar Tabakwashwan Wayalak Awatam Shamar Wana 20 Wayahayam Kabam Shamarwan, YAHANNA ala Yeshai, Yahawah, Pakwat Av, Ayanya ala YARAAWA, Pakwat, Yahawah Av, Ayan Yaham, YARAA, YAHANNA, Bataka, Shamarwan, 21. YAHANNA Malak Yashrala ala Yeshai, Karath, Awatham, Aka, Abaya, Kam. And now in English, 15. And when the servant of the man of God was risen early and gone forth, behold, and a host compassed the city, both with horses and chariots. And his servant said unto him, Alas, my master, how shall we do? 16. And he answered, Fear not, for they that be with us are more than they that be with them. 17. And Elisha prayed and said, Lord, I pray thee, open his eyes that he may see. And the Most High opened the eyes of the young man, and he saw, and behold, the mountain was full of horses and chariots of fire round about Elisha. Meaning what? The Most High already had, like, we are protected by angels. You don't have the ability to see those angels, but that doesn't mean the angels are not there. But like sometimes the man above us can't have that ability. So like Elisha did have the ability to see it, but the other brother didn't. Like imagine you surrounded by like 300 cats. You're like, yo, what we gonna do? But you can't see it, but your man sees, like, you got 1,000 cats right behind you, like with chariots of fire ready to like really end life. Right? If someone even thinks of messing with you. Like that's what's going on here. Like, yo, what are we gonna do? What we working for? We got like 3,000. We got 3,000 angels on our side. Wait, what are you talking about? Run laughing to see what's going on here. Oh snap! Come. 18. And when they came down to him, Elisha prayed unto the Most High and said, Smite this people, I pray thee, with blindness. And he smote them with blindness according to the word of Elisha. 19. And Elisha said unto them, This is not the way, neither is this the city. Follow me, and I'll bring you to the man whom ye see. But he led them to Samaria. And it came to pass when they were come into Samaria that Elisha said, Lord, open the eyes of these men that they may see. And the Most High opened their eyes, and they saw, and behold, they were in the midst of Samaria. 20. And it came to pass when they were coming to Samaria, 21. And the king of Israel said unto Elisha, when he saw them, My father, shall I smite them? Shall I smite them? And with that, I imagine up here. Oh, you out here? Count on count. All right. Salaki, let me fix myself. The car. Yayan, which means wine. Sha'ala, which means to Israel. Car again. Sawa Panya Hakodam, which means it's like I imagine, which means to stand. Sawa Panya Hakodam, which means turn to face the east. Gonna do the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. Abanawa, Shabbat Shemayim, Wadah, I.S.U.P.K, Yahawah, Taba'ah, Ratzaka, I.S.U.P.K, Barakza, Kuwa, I.S.U.P.K, Bashemayim, the Tala now, Ka, the one, Masalaka now, Kawat now. Kasalak now. Kawati now. Wala'a. Tabi saya tabi selagi. Tabi I now. Bala saya one. The ball. I'm shy now. Mayan. Ra. Kaya. Laka. Amalakwa. Wa'ala. Kapara. Balalamium. Amma. In the English, our Father. Try to heaven. Hallowed be thy name. Yahweh. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done. On earth. As it is in heaven. Give us this day. Our daily bread. And forgive us our debts. As we forgive our debtors. And lead us not to temptation. But deliver us from evil. For God is the kingdom. And the power. And the glory. Forever. So be it. The power in the Hebrew. Yahweh. Ba'ashem Yahushua. Ba'akashah. Adonai. Akah. Raba'ah. Kamakala. Kamarawa. Akah. That's a heart. That's a right. Akah. Lahakia. Amakia. Akah. Arakawa. Sama'ala. We got a shun. Ba'ashem Yahushua. Wa'araman. In the English, Yahweh. In the name of Yahushua. Please. Give us the power. Power to heal. All manner of sickness. No manner of disease. Power to cleanse the leper. Power to raise the dead. Power against unclean spirits. Cast them out. In the name of Yahushua. Thank you. So be it. Bless Israel in the Hebrew. Yahweh. Ba'ashem Yahushua. Barak Lanawa. Wayasharau. Wahabayam Sapari. Barak. Rafa'ah. A gun. And Salakia. Ba'ashem Yahushua. Wa'araman. In English, Yahweh. In the name of Yahushua. Bless us. And Israel. And the school. Bless. Heal. Shield. Protect. In the name of Yahushua. Thank you. So be it. Blessings in the Hebrew. Barakatah Yahweh. Why Yahushua. Why Mayaka Why Alahayim. Matazab Ya'af. Alawaf Yahanna. Salakia. Ha Alawaf. Ha Surrender. Ha Kotazayan. Ha Kayayalu. Ha Akwafia. Yahweh. Ba'ashem Yahushua. Wa'araman. In English, bless you, Yahweh. And Yahushua. And Michael. And the angel. Commanding General YAHANNA. The general. The captain. The officers. The troopers. And the sisters. Yahweh. In the name of Yahushua. Thank you. So be it. Psalms 121 in the Hebrew. Asha'ah. Ayanya. Al-Hahaya. Mayan. Yabah. Isaiah 9. Yahweh. Aisha. Shamayam. Baratisa. Ayatan. Amawat. Ragalka. Ayanawan. Shamarka. Kanala'a. Yanawan. Bala'a. Yaishan. Shalamar. Shasharawa. Yahweh. Shamarka. Yahweh. Tazalka. Aliyah. Yamyanka. Yamama. Ashamash. La'a. Yakaka. Bayarak. Balayala. Yahweh. Yashamarka. Makarai. Yashamar. Asampashka. It's like it. Yahweh. Yashamar. Tazahafka. Wawaka. Ma'aika. Wa'aid Ilam. In the English, I will lift up mine eyes into the hills.
I will lift up my eyes to the hills.
From whence cometh my help?
From whence cometh my help?
My help coming from Yahweh.
My help comes from Yahweh,
Which made heaven and earth.
who made heaven and earth.
You will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
You will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
He that keepeth thee
He that keepeth
will not slumber.
will not slumber.
Behold,
Behold,
he that keepeth Israel
he that keepeth Israel
shall neither slumber nor sleep.
shall neither slumber nor sleep.
Yahweh is thy keeper.
Yahweh is thy keeper.
Yahweh is thy shade upon thy right hand.
Yahweh is thy shade upon thy right hand.
The sun shall not smite thee by day,
The sun shall not smite thee by day,
nor the moon by night.
nor the moon by night.
Yahweh shall preserve thee from all evil.
Yahweh shall preserve thee from all evil.
He shall preserve thy soul.
He shall preserve thy soul.
Yahweh shall preserve thy going out
Yahweh shall preserve thy going out
and thy coming in
and thy coming in.
from this time forth
From this time forth
and even forevermore.
and even forevermore.
In Psalms 83 in the Hebrew, Alahayim,
Alahayim.
Al-Dami Alakah, Al-Dakarash,
Al-Dakarash.
Al-Tashquat,
Al-Dakarash.
Al-Kayahana, Al-Yadika,
Al-Yadika.
Al-Yahanna Yawan,
Al-Yahanna.
Wamashanayaka,
Al-Yadika.
Nasha'awa,
Al-Yadika.
Rash,
Al-Yadika.
Al-Imaka,
Al-Yadika.
Yairi Yungwa,
Al-Yadika.
Sawad,
Shabbat.
Wayatay Aikazawa,
Al-Yadika.
Al-Tazabawanika,
Al-Yadika.
Amawa,
Al-Yadika.
Lakawa,
Al-Yadika.
Manakakira,
Al-Yadika.
Magaya,
Al-Yadika.
Wala'a, Yazakar, Shem Yashurala, Iwad, Kaya, Nawa Aikazawa, Lab, Yakadwa, Alika, Maria, Yakarathwa, Ahalia, Adawam, Wayashum Alia, Mawa'aba, Bahagaya, Kabal, Baimawan, Baimalak, Halasha, Anyashabia, Tazawar, Gam Ashua, Alawa, Anman, Iowa, Zarawai, Banyalawat, Salah, Aishalaham, Kamadian, Kasaya Sarah, Kayabian, Banakar, Wayashwa, Nashamadwa, Ayandara, Iowa, Daman, Adama, Shaitamwa, Nadayabua, Kaira, Kazaba, Kazaba, Kazamna, Karnasaya Kamwa, Ashar, Amawa, Ayosha, Lanawa, Ak, Nawa, Alhayam, Alhaya, Shayatamwa, Kagala, Kwash, the Panyaraka, Kash, Amiri Ira, Kalava, Narat, Haryam, Kantaradakma, Basiraka, Walasapaka, Abalam, Malah, Panyam, Palawan, Wayabakwashwa, Shumka, Yahawa, Yabashwa, Wayabahawa, Ajai, Wayakapawa, Wayabadwa, Wayadawa, Kaya, Ataf, Shamka, Yahawa, Labanka, Aliwan, Al-Kal Harakaza. In English, keep not thy silence or power. Hold not thy peace, and be not still. No power. For lo, thine enemies make tumult. And they that hate thee, that have lifted up the head. Salakia. They have taken crafty counsel. Against thy people. And consulted. Against thy hidden ones. They have said, come, and let us cut them off from being a nation. That the name of Israel may be no more remembered. So they have consulted together with one consent. They have conferred against thee. The tabernacles of Edom, and the Israelites, of Moab, and the Hagarenes, the Baal, and Ammon, and Amalek, the Philistines, with the inhabitants of Tyre, but so also was joined with them. They have hope in the children of Lot. Salah, do unto them, and unto the Midianites, as to Sisera, as to Jabin, at the river Kisan, which perished at Endor, and became as dung for the earth. Make their nose like a ram.
Make their nose like a rat.
And like Zahab.
Like Zahab.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All their princes.
All their princes.
As a bow.
As a bar.
And as Almuna.
As a moon.
Who said.
Who said.
Let us take to ourselves.
Let us take to ourselves.
The house of Yahweh.
The house of Yahweh.
In possession.
In possession.
All my power.
All my power.
Make them like a wheel.
Make it like a wheel.
As the stubble before the wind.
As the stubble before the wind.
As the fire burns the wood.
As the fire burns the wood.
And as the sling. And as the flames set the mountains on fire.
As the flames set the mountains on fire.
So persecute them with thy tempest.
So persecute them with thy tempest.
Make them afraid with thy storm.
Make them afraid with thy storm.
Fill their faces with shame.
Fill their faces with shame.
That they may seek thy
And
name.
they may seek thy name.
Oh Yahweh.
O Yahweh.
Let them be confounded.
Let them be confounded.
And trouble forever.
In trouble forever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let them be put to shame.
Let them be put to shame.
And perish.
And perish.
That men may know.
That they may know.
That thou.
Thou.
Whose name alone is.
His name alone is
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
By the Most High.
By the Most High.
Over all the earth.
All the earth.
Curses in English. Blessed are you, Yahweh.
Blessed are you, Yahweh.
King of heaven and earth.
King of heaven and earth.
And all things living.
All things living.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
In the name of Yahweh.
In the name of Yahweh.
Listen to us now.
Listen to us now.
Right now.
Right now.
Send evils and curses.
Send evils and curses.
And punishment and destruction.
And punishment and
To the
destruction.
heathen.
To the heathen.
That speak against us.
That speak against us.
Thy prophets.
Thy prophets.
The teachers.
The teachers.
The princes.
The princes.
The priests.
The priests.
The Israelite brothers.
The Israelite brothers.
And the school.
And the school.
Send evils and curses.
Send evils and curses.
Punishment and destruction.
Punishment and
To
destruction.
the heathen.
To the heathen.
And shake loose the treasure.
And shake loose the treasure.
Of the rich of Israel.
Of the rich of Israel.
That refuse to give to the school.
That refuse to give to the school.
Cause their riches to enter into thy sanctuary.
Cause their riches to enter into thy sanctuary.
Send evils and curses.
Send evils and curses.
And punishment and destruction.
Punishment and destruction.
To the Edomites.
To the Edomites.
And the nations.
And the nations.
And their drug dealers.
And their drug dealers.
Court system.
Court system.
Prison system.
Prison system.
Planned Parenthood.
Planned Parenthood.
All the governments of our enemies.
All the governments of our enemies.
Amalek synagogues and armies.
Amalek synagogues and armies.
Roman Catholic Church.
Roman Catholic Church.
The Pope.
The Pope.
Islam. Christianity.
Christianity.
Egyptology.
Egyptology.
Militia. Ku Klux Klan.
Ku Klux Klan.
Aryan Nation.
Aryan Nation.
Skinheads.
Skinheads.
Posse Comitatus.
Posse Comitatus.
Gay movement.
Gay movement.
Lesbian movement.
Lesbian movement.
Spies.
Spies.
Workers of witchcraft.
Workers of witchcraft.
National Space Program.
National Space Program.
Army.
Army.
Navy. Air Force.
Air Force.
Marines.
Marines.
Wall Street.
Wall Street.
Open up the internet.
Open up the internet.
And the airwaves.
And the airwaves.
Cable access channels.
Cable access
And the radio channels.
And the radio channels.
Convict the spirit.
Convict the
Of
spirit.
any of our people
Any of our people.
that seek to stop us
Seek to stop us.
and bring swift destruction
Bring swift
to
destruction.
all the heathen
To all the heathen.
that stand in the way
That stand in the
and
way.
try to stop us.
Try to stop us.
From broadcasting your words.
Broadcasting your words.
Throughout the planet Earth.
Throughout the planet Earth.
That loose all the plagues.
That was all the plagues.
Cause them to go to and fro.
Cause them to go to and fro.
The earth
The earth.
and consume them.
And consume them.
Let the plagues
Let the plagues.
shake the house of the thief
Shake the house of the thief.
and the murderer.
And the murderer.
Let the house shot.
Let the house shine.
Michael and Gabriel
Michael and Gabriel.
come down with the flying swords
Come down with the flying saucers.
and punish all the heathen
And punish all the heathen
that come up against us
that come up against
as
us.
we speak thy word.
As we speak thy word.
Calling on by all,
Because we know by all.
that is the angels that have done
That
it.
is the angels that have done it.
Cause it to be spread through the media
Because it be spread through the media.
throughout the whole world.
Throughout the whole world.
Causing a shake at thy
Because
coming.
it be shaken like coming.
In the name of Yahweh
In the name of Yahushua.
thank you always.
Thank you always.
So be it.
So be it.
Cyrus rules the turn. Of Israel, we're going to give one courtesy salute. Let of Israel, Amadu Shabbat. Maju, Barak,
Yahweh Hashem Yahushua Barakatuh.
Yad Mitzah, hands down, dismissed. That's my address.
Yeah.
Khan Bakusha.
You.